Welcome. One thing I'm getting sick of hearing as a collector of World War II Militaria is that once the older generation dies off, all of their cherished items, all of these really tremendously important relics of world history will be inherited by their daughters and sons and more or less be treated like garbage because us younger folks are just not interested in this. Well, I'm here to argue against that point. Let's start with some of the things I was fortunate enough to inherit and how it kicked off my collection addiction, honestly. So in 2021, unfortunately, my father did pass away. He was a dealer, but he did have some things that he kept for himself, namely this Underwood M1 carbine, this 1911 that I'll talk about later, a P38, and a Luger. So suddenly all of these were mine, and it was very interesting to learn about the history of all these firearms, and really got me into the idea of maybe collecting and displaying them with some other things. And that's where the Militaria collecting addiction began. So let's start at the ground level. I have here a backpack that was issued to our good old boys overseas. It comes with some webbing. Now the webbing is inside. I'd show you guys, but if you ever dealt with one of these kinds of straps, you know it's a two-hand operation. It came with a very minty 1911 holster. This one is Grayton and Knight. And hopefully I won't have to there we go. All right. And also came with this belt, came with a Canteen, and I happen to have another Canteen in my collection, so I figured those just kind of display well together. Also came with some N1 carbine ammo pouches and one 1911 pouch. The one on the right is a 1911 ammo pouch from the First World War. I figured these two would go well together because the 1911 I inherited, is a Colt from 1918 that is Parkerized. There's some features about this, such as the trigger, that tell me this might be a transitional model or one that was issued initially in the First World War and reworked to be issued in the Second World War. We'll talk about that perhaps in a later video. I was lucky enough to find a very nice M1 carbine bayonet, and I think it displays well with the pouches. There are my grandfather's dog tags from the Second World War. Now, something I did purchase on my own that I'm still hurting a little bit from is this very nice Army officer infantry visor. This was purchased from a trusted collector, a friend of my father's, since before I was even born. This might require a whole series because I just love this hat so much, and it's a real screamer. And we'll save those exciting, salacious details for a future video. Moving up, we have some medals. This one here, unfortunately, that's a repro case, but that is a real gold German wound badge. I have a first class War Merit without swords in the original case. Mother's Cross in bronze, War Merit second class with swords, second class no swords, another first class with no swords, no case on this one, and a wound badge third class in black. I have just a standard Army infantry belt and buckle. That doesn't have to be infantry, but you know what I mean. Army belt and buckle. And a spree work P38. Now, it's not a Walther, so don't get too excited, but this is a very clean example. This here is a letter that was sent to my grandfather from one of his buddies in Germany in the 30s. As you can see, there's a swastika on it. This particular fellow was a member of the SA, and this was sent in the 30s before the war. Up here I have a DWM Luger that I inherited from my father. I also have a little display that I put together recently. These all came together, the Iron Cross, and I got a Hammer and Son Spang with some really nice pebbling on it, and we can get into that perhaps in a later video. Favorite thing about this is that it came with the Mini. Let's see, what else can we go on about? Oh, bayonets. Yes, I love bayonets. They're perhaps my favorite, item to collect from the Second World War. I have 3 K98s. This one's Koppel. This one's matching. This is a Holler, not matching. This is a Horster. This one's matching. I have an Alexander Koppel police bayonet. This one's matching. I think, in my opinion, Koppel did the best with the engraving on the pommel, and that one is slotted as well. There is no felt, unfortunately. I wonder if some madman actually did fix this to a K98. That would be a sight. And finally, we have 2 entry-level items. These were the first 2 pieces of Militaria I purchased on my own. Fireman's dress bayonet and a Army dress bayonet. So I'm hoping this gives you guys, some of you older guys, some faith in the younger generation that we take this very seriously and are very much interested in it. In case y'all needed any further evidence, I'll show you one more thing that I'm trying to find a place for. Got a first model Luftwaffe. Whew, this one took some time, boys. A lot of auction sites, a lot of bidding, a lot of waiting. I think it's a pretty stellar example, and if y'all don't believe me, let's see. Not bad, right? I mean, you can see me filming. Where's King Solomon? There he is, King Solomon himself with the WAFF and amp. Yep. All right, so that's about it for now. Just hoping to instill a little faith into some of the older collectors. And hopefully this will be the beginning of something special. Maybe a channel where I can showcase each item individually and document my collection journey as it grows. So thank you for watching.